Hi, it's Neil here from neilcowmeadow.com, and today I'm going to be talking about Gibson guitars, why I love them, why I hate them, things to watch out for, limitations and what they're especially good at. So I'm going to start off with the classic Gibson, the Les Paul. Beautiful old guitar, originally built for a jazz player, hence the name Les Paul, famous for being a very light player using something called a touch system, which is essentially a very light, easy way to play. The exact opposite of what you see with the gurning thumb over the neck position of a lot of guys, which I did for 20 years before I figured out it wasn't working and there were other ways to do it, which will be the subject of some other videos and some of the content that'll go into the Facebook group, which is called Guitar Zone. So find me on Facebook and I can add you to that, and you'll get some of the wisdom that maybe you won't find in other places. Particularly if you don't live close enough to get lessons face to face with me. So, Gibson's great if you want a nice warm jazzy sound, or they're particularly good for rock, believe it or not, because the pickups are designed to produce high output, but there's a slight compromise in tone, which makes them a bit warmer and fuller sounding than, say, a single coil guitar like a Strat or a Telecaster. That's as bright as it's going to get with this thing. This isn't a standard 69 custom either. This is, for better or worse, fitted with DiMarzio Super Distortion humbucker pickups. They were in it when I bought the guitar years and years and years ago. I've never really changed it, and to be honest, I don't play this one very much. The pickups on a Les Paul tend to be very, almost woolly sometimes. There's its jazz heritage poking through. You see that? Again, the harder you hit it, the more it kind of bites. A well set up Les Paul is a dream to play. This one I actually like playing a great deal when I can be bothered. But most of the time I'm teaching, I'm using my Telecasters or a Strat. What's great about it, it's a hardtail. It's just an elegant design. It's beautiful. As always, high-end access here is a bit of a pain in the neck. I can't do this because my hands are too little. I'd like to get right in there and try and keep my fingers running parallel to the frets at all times. Because the body on the Les Paul isn't massive, it's quite easy for me to do that. But the downside of them is that they're bloody heavy. That's the big downside, as in addition to the limited range of tones that you can actually get out of these things. They're heavy. You know, a few hours playing this, it's like having a concrete slab around your neck. Now, there's another problem with Les Pauls, and it's down to the design. It's the neck. So the neck here is set in, it's all glued, so if you do have an accident with the neck, you've got massive problems. You can't just buy another neck and bolt it on like you can with a unit construction gadget like this telly, where should I be stupid enough to go and break the neck off it, I can undo 4 bolts and just shove a new neck on. Gibson's design philosophy goes back to a much older manufacturing idea, where the neck is actually glued in place. And then there's this, the headstock. In order to give the strings a nice crisp angle through the nut here, the headstock is tilted back on Les Pauls and pretty much all the Gibsons. The problem is that it's not made from a single piece of timber. There's a joint here called a scarf joint. Now, if you knock the guitar over, what will happen usually is it'll fall this way and the scarf joint will simply break, because it's got all the tension from the strings, and a little extra kick that way will bang. Almost always break off the headstock. If you don't, you've been extremely lucky. So now you've got a guitar with a glued in neck and no headstock. It's a very involved, very expensive repair, and you only ever drop one guitar, I promise. So that's why I love Gibson Les Pauls, and why I think there are certain limitations to them as well. I'm not saying they're the best guitar in the world or the worst, but there are ups and downs to it. Now, I'm not here to do Gibson bashing. There's plenty of people out there going to do it, but I'll give you a reality check on them. Back when I was a kid, if you could afford a Gibson, you knew you were getting the best you could buy. I don't believe that's true anymore. And here's why. As a guitar repairer, as a guitar tech, I'm always doing setups and repairs on other people's instruments. And I see more Gibsons which I would say are suspect or substandard or defective or flawed in some way than almost any other brand. In fact, pretty much all the other brands added up. Given the amount of Gibsons being sold, I see more duff gibbos than anything else. At high-end guitars, I don't think you should be subjected to that and have to budget getting someone to set it up properly and take care of the jobs that have been skimped on in the factory. The quality control is piss poor. Now, I know my friends over the pond won't like that because Gibson is a famously American brand, but that's the reality we're seeing here in the UK, guys. Whether they're keeping the good stuff for the US market and sending the crap over here, I don't know. But there must be a reason why I'm seeing more duff gibbos than anything else. I own quite a few Gibsons. They've always been my instrument of aspiration. Are they the best available? No way. No way. They're inconsistent. A lot of the designs are limited, inflexible, and there are inherent design flaws, which you could say is the heritage of the instrument. That's a moot point, I'm not arguing there. When you're buying a gibbo, if you're new to it, go and get someone else to look at it for you. An experienced player, or better still, a luthier. Get a professional opinion, because you could be buying something that's an absolute dog. You don't want to spend £3,000 or £4,000 on a guitar and then find out it's really a basket case that shouldn't have left the factory. When we operated a Gibson and Epiphone dealership, we had massive problems with quality, and we closed our account down. I didn't want to deal with them because they were just shoddy, and the distributor in the UK was doing a very poor job. I don't really want to get into the minutiae of that. Suffice to say, I'm glad I'm not dealing with Gibson. They're a very hard company to deal with. But as a guitar repairer, as a luthier, they're good business because they keep coming through the door and keep putting money in my pocket for setups and fret jobs and tweaks and adjustments. So, nice one, Gibbo. You've been good for me. So that's it. That's my little rant about Gibson Les Pauls. All that's good about them, all that's bad about them, and what to watch out for. If you want to hear more from me, find me on Facebook, YouTube, look me up at neilcowmeadow.com, email me at info@neilcowmeadow.com. I can get you into my tuition group where there's loads of free content, and you can learn what I learned after I've been playing for 23 years and did a music degree that I couldn't find anywhere else. Till then, enjoy yourself, have a